Welcome back to the thinking room. This is a private place for the questions that do not want quick answers. A space for the unhurried reflection of the self. A place where time moves at the speed of thought. Today we sit with a specific possibility that might feel both heavy and freeing. What if you don't need another answer? What if the searching itself is the exhaustion? There is a particular kind of exhaustion that does not come from having too little information. It is a weight that builds when you are surrounded by noise. It comes from standing in a room full of answers and still feeling far away from yourself, as if every piece of advice only adds another layer between you and the truth you are looking for. You read one more book, save one more video, ask one more person what they think. You collect these fragments of knowledge like stones, hoping they will finally build a bridge to clarity. You pull one more card, search for one more sign, not because you are foolish or lost, but because the search itself has become a habit, a way of being that feels safer than the end of the quest. Maybe because answers feel like movement, and stillness can feel suspicious when you have survived by staying one step ahead. Stillness feels like a target. We run because we are afraid that if we stop, the silence will ask us a question we aren't ready to answer. We keep searching to keep the silence at bay. But what if the silence is the answer itself? Place this possibility in the center of the room. What if you do not need another answer? What if the answer is already here, waiting for the room to get quiet enough for you to hear it? What if the part of you that keeps searching is not looking for information at all, but permission? A quiet nod that says it is okay to be exactly where you are, even if you are not where you thought you'd be. Permission to leave, stay, want what you want. Permission to exist without the need to explain your existence. Permission to disappoint the version of you that made promises under different stars. Those stars have shifted. You are allowed to change. We often hold ourselves hostage to old dreams that no longer serve the person we've become. But true self-trust is the ability to walk away from a map that no longer matches the terrain you are standing on. We call it confusion because confusion sounds temporary and solvable. But sometimes the truth is already here. It is simply expensive. It might cost an identity, a relationship, a role. It might cost the comfort of being misunderstood, or the applause that came from being endlessly available and certain. To be uncertain is to be human. The mind keeps opening new doors so it does not have to touch the one handle that changes everything. Touching that handle requires a courage that information cannot provide. It is a decision to enter a room you cannot leave unchanged. Move into the image of antique maps with sea monsters at their edges. The cartographer admitted where knowledge ended. They knew that the edge of the world was not a failure of research, but a boundary of the known. They respected the mystery. Modern life gives us endless searching, measuring, and comparison. We map every inch of the spiritual terrain, but each person still reaches an inner coastline where the map stops. Where the voice of the self is the only guide. That does not always mean you are unprepared. Sometimes the next step cannot be proven before it is lived. It is the space where trust begins. Trust is not a calculation. It is the willingness to walk into the blank space. Clarity may be a small lamp carried while uncertainty walks beside you. You do not need to see the whole path. Self-trust is not knowing everything will work. It is knowing that if something breaks, you will not abandon yourself. Offer a quieter decision question, not which choice makes fear disappear, but which choice lets me remain in honest relationship with myself. You do not have to decide tonight. The thinking room is not a courtroom. Nothing here needs a verdict. Good night. Until next time, leave the door open. Let the space be enough. Trust that you already have what you are looking for. Good night.